Thank you for joining the Washtenaw County Road Commission's virtual public information meeting about the Dexter 5 Points Roundabout Project at Huron River Drive, Joy Road, and Mast Road in Webster Townships. My name is Tiffany Oliphant, and I'm the Communication Manager here at WCRC. I'll be your meeting host along with our project managers. I'm also letting people in the room, so just bear with me as I let folks in the room. This morning, I'll go over the meeting instructions before turning it over to staff for a presentation about the project, and then we'll open the meeting up for your questions and answers. Joining me today is Project Manager Kevin Dubnicki. That's his information there on the screen. He is the project manager for this project. This meeting audio and video is being recorded and will be posted to the project page on wcroads.org in the next day or two. After the presentation, you'll be asked to virtually raise your hand during the Q&A portion. I will provide instructions at that time on how to do this from either your computer, the Zoom app, or phone. The chat feature in this meeting is turned on. If you have a question during the presentation, feel free to ask it in the chat, and we will address it during the Q&A period. You can find the chat window at the bottom of your screen. And now I'll turn it over to Kevin.
Thanks, Tiffany. Good morning. My name is Kevin Digg, and I'm excited to be the project manager for WCRC overseeing this project. Today, we're going to be talking about the proposed double roundabout to be located on Mast Road at the Huron River Drive and Joy Road intersection, commonly called Dexter 5 Points intersection. Next slide. This is the current conditions of the intersection from the Huron River Drive Bridge on Mast Road facing north with eastbound Huron River Drive and Joy Road seen on the right and westbound Huron River Drive on the left. Next slide. Here's the opposite view. We're again looking at the intersection facing south. The current intersection configuration is challenging with approaches to Mast Road at difficult angles and restricted by topographical features and the Huron River. The intent of the project was to improve safety and relieve congestion at the intersection. WCRC applied for and was awarded federal aid for the project. Next, we're going to talk about the project overview and how we came to the design. WCRC approached a design engineering firm to look at and determine options to improve the safety and traffic flow of the intersection. Numerous options, including a single large roundabout, two separate roundabouts, and the final design choice of an oblong roundabout option were looked at. The single large roundabout was determined to be too impactful to the intersection. Through design analysis and traffic flow modeling, two separate roundabouts were reviewed and found that they would not function operationally during peak times. The county and their engineering firms landed with a design presented with an oblong splitter island that maintains flow even during peak periods. Next slide. During the design phase, WCRC communicated with local cyclists and specifically with the Ann Arbor Touring Society to get input on the design. A designated 5-foot wide bike path was integrated into the roundabout island to help with the main movement of cyclists going into the city of Dexter from Huron River Drive. Cyclists will have a yield sign and must yield to traffic when merging. Next slide. Cyclists traveling north on Mast or west to Huron River Drive will utilize the roundabout and are recommended to take up the entire lane. This is for your safety so that you are treated like a vehicle due to the limited space and to prevent unsafe passing. Next slide. Project funding and cost. Construction cost estimated is $2.5 million for the project. Funding is coming from our Congestion Mitigation Air Quality Grant from federal aid and our Michigan Transportation Funds, MTF. Next slide. All residents will be maintained but cannot go through the intersection. Another meeting in the spring to talk about the details of the construction of the roundabout. The proposed details shown will require residents affected by the closure to navigate outwards to one of the nearby main local roads. For example, residents located along Mast Road will be required to travel north to North Territory Road and navigate east or west of their destination following the detour. Businesses will be open during the construction period. Next slide. Tentative schedules for this. Next steps, we're going to be submitting our bid documents to MDOT for approval. MDOT bid letting will occur where the contractor will be bid on it. The winning bid will be awarded to the contractor, and tree removals, if any, will be starting prior to April 1st, 2027. We will also be having a public information meeting in person at the Dexter Library on September 29th, 2026. The time I think is still to be determined, but that will be posted on our website. Construction for the project is to occur in 2027. The start date is still to be determined, but typically because this is a larger project, we'll get started as soon as we can, as weather permits. Next slide. We have my contact information on here. My name and email and phone number are available. You may contact me with any additional questions, or we encourage you to show up to the in-person meeting on September 29th to discuss any additional questions or comments you may have.
Thank you, Kevin. For that, I'm actually going to show everyone how, if they're not familiar with our webpage, how to get there from Google. So you're going to open your Google browser. I'm coming out of the my apologies. I'm coming out of the presentation, and I'm going into Google. I'm going to you hit wcroads.org. You type that in, and then you'll come to our homepage. Roadwork and construction, current projects. Click on the drop down current projects. And because this project is happening or is going to be constructed in 2027, you'll click on the 2027 projects. We are planning projects all the way out to 28. So that's a good way for you to look and see what we're doing. But this project in particular is on the 2027 projects list. You can actually, these are interactive maps happening. So you can actually click on the red dot there or the blue dot, and you can see different projects and you click on more information. But I'm going to show you, you can do that, or you can scroll down and look at the different cards that are happening. And those are the project pages. So this is the Dexter 5 Points project. You click the project page, and then the project, all information about the project show up. So here you'll find all of the information there, the township information, the year, what's the description of work, it's a road closure, and the funding. So here are the latest updates or information. That's how we'll update all of our people who are interested in this project. Kevin's information is there on the right there. Helpful links. You'll find the detour map that we just showed you, roundabout information, and driving around a roundabout. Just these will be helpful links. And this is also where you'll find a link to this presentation plus the video of this presentation. Also, if you want more information and you want it straight to your email, you would actually click on subscribe. If you haven't done that before and you're new to us, we ask you to put your email address here, your name and your zip code. You can click on your township that you want information on. You can select multiple options there. You select that, and you can select the weekly roadwork schedule if you would like, or advisories. That's up to you. And then you can select the project pages that you want information on. This is the Dexter 5 Points Roundabout. Then you hit subscribe. Then information, whenever we have updates or anything of that nature, the next virtual public meeting construction meeting, we'll put out some information about that. You would get that straight to your email. We also update, I just want to give you a little couple information about this, the weekly roadwork schedule. You go back to the roadwork and construction, the weekly roadwork schedule. This is important because this is what's happening for the week. We update this weekly. We send this out every Thursday. So you'll know what's happening around Washtenaw County and the road work that's happening, from dust control to mowing to our resurfacing projects to permit work. All of that information is here and it talks about it. So and we put the detours up, the contact person if you have questions, and their email. So that's also a list if you're not familiar with our page. Also, we also have information about our townships. So if you want any information about what's happening in your township, projects going on in your township, you can click on the township button at the top and the hops on the main bar there. And you can, since we're talking about Webster Township, here's information going on in Webster Township. We're talking about, obviously, we have the other project going on, the Island Lake Dexter Main Street Corridor project. We're constantly updating this, that project page and this project page for our township pages. Okay, now that I've kind of perused our website for those who, that was just a little lesson for those who may not know about what's happening on our website and how robust it is and how much we take to update that. Now I'll go back into the presentation and we'll open it up for question and answer. If you're viewing the meeting on your computer, first make sure to click Join Audio. You can raise your hand by clicking the Participants or Reactions button at the bottom of your screen, and then raise your hand button at the bottom of your screen. If you dialed into the meeting from your phone, you can raise your hand by dialing *9. As the meeting host, I will unmute participants with raised hands one at a time, and I'll announce your username and last four digits of your phone number when it is your turn to speak. I just ask that you give us time. We're here and we're here to answer all your questions. But if your question was answered, just click the lower hand button or dialing *9. All right, we're going to open this up now. Let's see. I'm letting people in also. So I have Wendy has her hand up. I'm going to ask you to unmute, Wendy. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, thank you. Good morning. Just one question I had with the roundabout and then the cyclists. So I think this is probably going to be one of the first roundabouts in the area. Please correct me if I'm wrong, that the cyclists will be incorporated into this. Are there going to be any sorts of signage for that just to help both vehicular traffic and the cyclists navigate through there? And is there going to be any targeted education to the cycling community for this?
We've not had conversations on, let's say, targeted communication that'll be occurring. It will have signage that'll be at the front, and as we can see in the image that is currently shown, the green area just to the west of where Huron River Drive comes into Mast Rd, there will be that 5-foot lane, and we will have signage at the beginning of it to enter it, and then also for exiting that they will need to yield to traffic. You are correct. This is the first time we've incorporated this into a project. We thought it was safer for the cyclists to be able to try to accommodate this and their needs in there instead of running them through the full roundabout. If we could try to, avoid that. Also, with conversations with the cyclists that we had in the Ann Arbor group that we talked about earlier, that they were in agreement that this seemed like a good, feasible option, and that it was pretty self-explanatory for themselves when we went through with them.
Okay. Yeah, because that is a very high cycling traffic area. So I appreciate the thought in that. So thank you. Can I ask another question, or I can put my hand down and wait through a turn?
Go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question since you're right here. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. And then this is in regards to the party store there. So how is the parking going to be affected for the party store?
So the existing parking lot is located within existing right-of-way, and we've informed the property owner that it needs to be removed as part of the project. We're working with the property owner for gaining access for the new parking lot.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate this.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Sue to unmute. Sue M. Go ahead.
Hey, my question is the intersection of North Territorial and Huron River Drive. Right now, we take the Mast Road to get to the light. I've seen a huge pileup of people trying to access Huron River Drive or access North Territorial from Huron River Drive. Has a light been considered for that intersection when this is happening so people can get out there safely, making a left-hand turn?
So traffic conditions right now that you're currently experiencing are obviously an increase due to the roundabout project going in on the west side of Dexter. The traffic volumes will significantly decrease and go back to, let's say, previous levels where they had been. That time, we are not aware of it needing or meeting requirements for that and for this project because it will be back to, let's say, more standard numbers on there. At this time, we're not considering putting in any kind of additional traffic control over there because we're not anticipating that it will be needed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. John asked in the chat, how long is this project expected to take?
So the project is expected to take roughly 16 weeks from start to finish. But that's still to be determined.
Okay, thank you. And then Debbie, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. My husband and I recently moved to Daly Road, about a half mile from where this is happening, and we love that you're doing it. We had another question. There's a lot of cyclists here. It's just like a half mile right from this area, but it's really difficult to safely get your bike from Daly Road to Joy or Huron just because of the speed limit, the curves there, and that there's no shoulder. And I wondered if it's any part of your conversation with the cycling community, there was any thought at all of extending a broader shoulder or something just at half mile so we could participate in the extension of the B2B and all of the biking options out of Dexter.
I can't that is not part of our project. I don't know if there's somebody else who wants to respond, but that's outside of the scope of what we're talking about today. And I unfortunately don't have an answer for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Kevin, do you have anyone that messaged you in the chat?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. We don't have any other questions, but if someone else wanted to ask a question. Oh, wait, I do, just by me saying that. Okay. Okay, Eric, I'm going to unmute. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Go ahead.
Hi there. I'm just looking at the diagram here. It looks like when you're heading west on Huron River Drive, if you want to make a left and head south on Mast Road, it looks like if you're in a car, you have to go all the way up and around the upper roundabout and then back down to the lower roundabout to complete that turn. Do you have any idea how many people do that? And might it not make sense just to close that lower roundabout and let cars go through there too?
So you mean to complete the loop in the lower roundabout? Can we go to the roundabout image?
Yeah,
Tiffany?
that's it.
1 second. 1 second.
So the answer to that is that when we did our design, so what we actually, it was a really neat process that we actually flew a drone over the intersections as they are in their current conditions, and we monitored the number of vehicles that were going in and the turning movements that they were doing. So one of the design options we had was having two separate full roundabouts, one on the north and one to the south. What we found is that the turning movements coming from Huron River Drive to go into there would cause delays and backups onto Mast Rd. And Mast Rd is the main route for traffic going in and out. It's the main flow. This is where the majority of the vehicles are going north and south on Mast Rd. So it was causing delays for that. That's why we closed that loop and did not open it up. It was approached that way as the initial design. But after we did the drone work and did the modeling for the computers, they said that was not going to be appropriate when we closed it off of this and then re-looked at the number of vehicles that are going through the intersection. The model flowed appropriately, that we did not have the same significant queue lengths, is what we call them, for the vehicles backing up to the intersection and moving on that. So yes, the vehicles coming from Huron River Drive, from the eastbound Huron River Drive, they're going west, and we'll have to go up through the intersection to the north and come back around to go into the city of Dexter, to be able to make the roundabout in this intersection work the way it should.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Lynn has a question. Has the city considered acquiring the property that is now the party store and converting it into a park with a picnic area and restroom for cyclists, kayakers, and cider mill visitors?
There's not been any discussions with the city of Dexter about any plans that they may or may not have. Anything to that effect, I can't really respond to. I don't know. We don't have any information on it.
Thank you. I actually have Dan. Go ahead, Dan.
Good morning, guys. Hey, Kevin, great job. Thank you. Two questions. The closure of everything that's in this, let's say, green highlighted area, is that going to be in totality for the full project, or is this staged at all? Or is all five arteries closed for the entire duration?
All 5 arteries are going to be closed for the entire duration.
And
will
what is
not
the
be staged.
approximate estimate of total runtime for that entire project? Do you have a low to high range of months on that?
As we mentioned earlier, it is estimated to be 16 weeks, but that time frame is still to be determined.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dan. We're going to get Mary. Go ahead, Mary. Go ahead, Mary. I don't know if I got you there. Go ahead. There you go.
Sorry about that. So my question is, we've got several neighborhoods on Huron River Drive. It's going to take everybody 10 miles out of their way just to go to the grocery store that's 3 miles away. And not having a stop sign or a light at Huron River Drive in North Territorial is going to be more accident prone than what you had going at the 5 corners. So first of all, I'd like you guys to really rethink that one. But then why is this occurring now when we have gas prices being outrageous? Now I'm going to spend twice as much money to go to the grocery store. So I'm a little concerned about that, the timing of this. Thank you.
Well, when we start these projects, you have to understand that we start these projects 2, sometimes 3 years in advance, and we're applying for federal aid money that is provided to us, and we must use this money or lose it within a certain time frame also. So when we started looking at this project 2 years ago, and actually designs were started even before that, and considerations, there's no way for us to know what the economy may or may not be doing at that time. And what we're looking at now is, if we were to postpone this for any reason, we would lose out on millions of dollars that is being provided to us by the federal government. So in the grand scheme of things, we're getting millions of dollars to be able to work towards this project, but the timing may not be the most effective. It could have gone the other way, and the gas prices might have been the lowest they've ever been, for a significant amount of time. There's no way for us to know that at that time. So I apologize that is a more difficult situation, and we can hope that next summer that prices have stabilized and they may be better. But unfortunately, if we don't take advantage of it now, again, we lose out on millions of dollars that are funding the project.
Thank you, Kevin. I had someone just say, will this recording be on the project page? It will be, for those who may have joined a little later to know how we go about this. Once this recording is done, you give me about a couple of day or so to get the project and the presentation up on the project page, and it will be there for your viewing. Also, Kevin is available too. We just wanted to show the detour. If I have any other questions, I just want to make sure we're here until 11 o'clock. So if you had anything else you wanted to ask, by all means, we're here. That's the design. For those who missed that, like I said, Kevin, we had a couple people just join a little later and they might not have seen the design yet. But that is the design that we're having there at the 2 roundabouts. Oh, I have one question there, Joe. Okay, Joe, 1 second. Go ahead. I did ask you to unmute, Joe. Go ahead.
Can you explain how the bicycles go through again? I didn't really follow that.
Do you have a particular intersection or roadway that you want to use as an example?
The two legs of Huron River Drive, and then also the leg from North Huron River Drive into Dexter.
So I guess what we'll start off when we start talking about how bicyclists should be approaching and using the roundabout is a cyclist is considered a vehicle, and they can traverse the entire roundabout just like a vehicle would, and may go through the entire roundabout as they would. So as you approach the roundabout, you may only turn right. You cannot turn left to take a shortcut, to a nearby intersection, and you cannot drive, let's say, you cannot, unless it is designated, let's say go through the splitter islands or the islands themselves to utilize as a sort of impromptu safe haven. What we did at the intersection of Huron River Drive and Mast Rd is we included a cut through a designated area safe zone for bicyclists to be able to use, as we know that is an increased usage for bicyclists, so they did not have to traverse the entire roundabout to get back into the city. So that area will be utilized by the bicyclists when they approach if they're on Huron River Drive approaching Mast Rd, they will need to yield at the intersection. If there's vehicles that are coming, they will obviously have to wait, and then as they determine it is appropriate and safe, may go into the safe zone for the bicyclist to do the cut through for the splitter island, and then make a left-hand turn into traffic, but they must yield to traffic. The traffic is not yielding for the cyclist. The cyclist must yield for the traffic that is already in the roundabout. We're treating this as similar to anything else, is that the vehicles that are already in the roundabout have the right of way through there. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right. Okay. Let's now. Well, okay, I don't have any more questions. Kevin, I'm double checking with you to make sure, and all the other hosts that are in the meeting. I'm just double checking to make sure we don't have any more questions. I don't hear anything. Nobody has said anything. So I'm going to go with the in-person meeting. We have an in-person meeting scheduled. It's an open house feel. You'll see the same you'll see the presentation moving. We'll have stations where everyone can ask questions. It will be Tuesday, September 29th from 6 p.m. to 7:15 at the Dexter Library there on Alpine Street. And so we just want to let you know, you can come on in and say hi to us and ask us any questions you may have, or spread the word. The library does have the information as well, and it is on our social media platforms as well as our website. So again, this is Kevin's information. He's the project manager for this project. His number is 734-327-6693. Also, that's his email address, Dubnicki K at WCRoads.org. And obviously you can find information about this project at WCRoads.org. We want to say thank you for attending.